The energy situation in California became dire in late 2000s, weakened by complicated market patterns and the schemes of Enron and other energy providers. The state's ISO could no longer monitor everything. The control of process was essentially abandoned, and this is what we call business accountability. An early cold spell in Oregon and Washington forced those states to keep all their surplus energy, thus reducing the supply of power available for the sale to California. Meanwhile, Enron and other suppliers had managed to manufacture their own power shortage in California by sending much of their electricity to other markets with higher prices. Blackouts became more common because the electricity supply could not meet consumer demand. In response, California lifted its price caps, raising the price of megawatt hours from $43.80 at the beginning of 2000 to $292.10 at the beginning of 2001. So it was $43.80, and then in 2001 it was $292.10. Although the supply of power increased immediately, consumer electric bills shot up by 67%, causing a statewide uproar. Price caps were reinstated in June 2001, but only as temporary measure. Shortly thereafter, Enron began to collapse like a house of cards, and California's supply of electricity began to stabilize. Critics of current measures, however, worry that if price caps are permanently lifted, other companies can step in and do the same sort of things that Enron did. Well, there are market economies. A market is a mechanism for exchange between buyers and sellers of a particular goods or service. Like capital, term market can have multiple meanings. Market economies rely on capitalism and free enterprise to create an environment in which producers and consumers are free to sell, buy what they choose within the certain limits. As a result, items produced and prices paid are largely determined by supply and demand. Input and output markets. According to the view, businesses and households interact in two different market relationships. In the input market, firms buy resources from households which are thus resource suppliers. In the output market, the firms supply goods and services in response to household demand. We provide a more detailed discussion in our series of tutorials as we move ahead and talk about the demand in our same discussion. As, you, as we can see, the activities of the two markets create a circular flow, and that's what we call for the Ford Motor Company. For example, it relies on the various kinds of inputs. It buys labor directly from households, which may also supply capital by using their savings to buy food stock. Consumer buying patterns furnish information when Ford must decide which models to produce and which to discontinue. In turn, Ford uses inputs to become a supplier to households designing and building the automobiles, trucks, spot utility vehicles, and offering them for sale.